Hey guys, so in this video I want to show you how to work with the Make app, and obviously UI changes all the time, so I'll give the instructions on how to use it on the UI that we currently have. And obviously also in the Make app and our APIs always evolve and we always get more functionality, so as time passes we'll obviously add that to the tutorial. Right now when you open a new account on Roo and you get into the dashboard here, you'll see that you have the Hebrew YouTube channel with all the videos in Hebrew. You have the link to the Make app, which we'll focus on. You have the Chrome extension, which we'll do a separate video on, and our WhatsApp support group. If you click the Make app, you'll get to a Make window where you need to install the app. Here we have several organizations, so let's pick this one. And now we have the option to actually see the app and click on install. All right, it shows you the actions that it has. Let's go in depth into them right now. Now, when you go back, when you go into Make and create a new scenario, let's close this. Create a new scenario in Make. You'll see after you've done that you have the Roo here as an app. Now, the first thing you want to do is to actually connect your account. Connecting is through the API key. You have the API key here. The longer one is used for the Make app and the API call. The shorter one is used for the Chrome extension. Now, once you've connected your account, you'll see the different actions. Let me go over them so you understand. The Add Webhook action allows you to take an existing short Roo URL, what we call a RooRL, and add an existing webhook to it. A webhook is an option for whenever the URL is clicked to have that trigger a webhook on the server side. Now, if you're familiar with Make and you're familiar with the HTTP call, if I have the HTTP module and I have make a request, if you're familiar with it, you see that you're configuring the endpoint that you want the request to go out to. The method be get, post, put, patch, whatever, delete. And after that, you have the headers where you do an item name, a key, and value. You have query string parameters, and you have the body type, which could be JSON, could be encoded in some way. Let's say you do raw and your content type is JSON or XML, and then you build the actual request content. All right, and you can have it also in multi-part form where you select the fields, the key, and the value. Everything that you know from building a basic HTTP response is also the way you add a webhook in Roo. So we have the link that was already shortened with Roo here as the URL. And what we're doing is saying which endpoint we want to be called each time this link is clicked. So at the same exactly like we did with the HTTP call, you have the endpoint, you have the method, you have an option to add the metadata or not. The metadata gives you the number of clicks and the short link and the long link that it points to. Roo gives you all of that into your as part of the payload into your webhook. And you have an option to configure the headers, the query string, the body type. We support raw for now. The content type as JSON. That also fixes the headers, and you can put the request content here in JSON format. So we have key and value. All right, so you have different parameters here. This is what you do for adding a webhook to an existing URL. Let's look at another action. So if the add webhook, click on redirect actually allows you to automatically adjust and change the address that the link points to as part of the whenever it's clicked a certain number of times. So on the first click do that, after an X number of clicks do that. We'll go into those in detail in separate videos. Create URL allows you to take any URL that you want and shorten it using Roo and also have the additional functionality in it. Edit URL actually means that if you have an existing link already shortened with Roo, if you have a RooRL, you can change its destination by calling the edit URL. Folders is more related to how links are organized on the website. You have the option to make an API call. Just use our API and make a call using your tokens, your authentication. You have that built in. And a schedule redirect actually allows you to build a schedule where the link's destination changes as a function of the time. So let's say you have a webinar and you want the link to point to the webinar before it starts, but if someone clicks on the short link after the webinar has already ended, you want them to be directed to the registration page for the next webinar. So that is possible with schedule redirect. Actually, when you pick create URL, which is what most of you will do. You have the option to put their URL here. So let's say I'm sending it to Google, and if I run that, I'll just have a short link. Right? So I have a short URL, root URL or URL. And if I click here, you'll see that it goes to Google. Now, if in later videos, I'll show you what happens when you actually switch on the show advanced settings and actually use these extra features that we've discussed when creating the URL and having that as part of the URL at its very inception. So this video was just about installing the Make app, really starting to use it and really getting to know its functionality. In later videos, we'll go into details about each of these actions and things you can do with them.